Hi, I'm here to talk to you about the cultural impact of Nosferatu, the Symphony of Horror. Like Carly said, it was based off of the novel written in 1897 by Bram Stoker, Dracula. Funny enough, Bram Stoker was a nationalist. He held the belief that the Irish race should be pure, and in his writings, he has some kind of harmful depictions of the Romani people, also known as gypsies. Both the Romani and the Slovakian people he has harmful depictions of because of his views on race. That being said, the Nazi movement, I know, Nazi movement started in 1920. This film came out in 1922. I see this and I'm like, what are the odds? What are the odds? So I did some research into Murnau, the director of the film. He left Germany in 1926 because the Nazis started gaining popularity. So, we're all good. We dodged a bullet. Murnau's depiction of Nosferatu was the very first vampire to have the weakness of sunlight. And since then, it's survived very well. It just feels like a very nice natural weakness for a vampire to have. But vampires have always had a rather interesting link to sexuality. With horror in general, many monsters are based off of a minority or a group that people fear. And there's a lot of pieces within Bram Stoker's writing that kind of allude to Dracula being queer-coded. And in the Nosferatu film, I'm like, oh, this does have some elements where it maybe seems queer. Since then, there were a few films that were made off of the Nosferatu 1922 film that also deal with themes of sexuality. End of 2024, just a month or so ago, there was a remake of Nosferatu, and that remake had a very powerful commentary on sexual assault. But before that, a couple years ago, there was the movie Renfield. Renfield is another name for Ernok, who is one of the characters in Nosferatu that kind of gets the movie going. But the Nicolas Cage movie Renfield, it shows the beginning of that relationship, and the movie is a commentary on being able to set boundaries. So throughout history, since Bram Stoker's book and since Nosferatu, these deep personal themes of intimacy and trauma with intimacy and hard conversations around sex have been approached in a very unique way. And I think that's a cool piece of our history. We found a way to break down these hard topics into more approachable things, because it is something that we fear. Intimacy is an inherently scary thing because it's so vulnerable. So kind of making it a monster and showing these stories that show these complex situations is really cool to see.